Hey everyone, I welcome you all to this video. And today in this video, we are going to discuss about combining queries, right? So at times, there can be situations where we have multiple tables or multiple queries in our dataset, and it may be required to combine them, to append them, right? When we say combine two queries, so it might refer to appending or merging. But in this video, we'll be discussing about appending the queries. Also, if you have already studied SQL and if you know about union and union all, so it will be easier for you to understand this. But anyways, even if you do not know those concepts, we will understand this using an example here. So first of all, let's open Power Query Editor. So I will simply click here on Transform Data and it will open Power Query Editor for us. Now you can see that here we have two tables. The very first table is Student Details 1. And then we have second table, that is Student Details 2. If I will click on Student Details 1, you can see that we have three columns, that is ID column, then we have name column, and then we have phone number of the student. If I talk about the second table, then here we have ID of the student, we have the name of the student, his phone number, and address. So this is an extra column which is present in the second table, that is Student Details 2. While in Student Details 1, we have only three columns, that is ID, name, and phone number. First of all, you should understand about the data that we are going to use. So in this example, we will use two tables, that is Student Details 1 and Student Details 2. Also, under this Home tab, you will see that there is a section or there is a group by the name Combine. And under this Combine section or group, you can see that we have two options, that is Merge Queries, and then we have append queries. As I already told you that in this session, we are going to discuss about appending the queries. So we will discuss about this option. Anyways, now let's just simply click here on the drop down. And here you can see that we have two options, that is append queries and append queries as new. If you will click on append queries, it will make changes in the query that is selected under the queries pane as of now, right? So as of now, you can see that the Student Details 1 is selected. So the changes will be made to the first table. If I will select this first option, that is append queries, but I do not want that the base table should change. So I will select this option, that is append queries as new. So it will create a new query for us and it will ask that you can concatenate rows from two tables into a single table. And you will have to mention the name of the first table and second table. All right. So the first table that we are going to, as of now, we are going to use two tables for appending. And the first table that we have is a Student Details 1. And the second table that we have is Student Details 2. So I will simply select these two tables and I will click on OK. So you can see that it created a new query for us and its name is append 1. And this is having four columns, that is ID, name, phone number, and address. And there is one more thing that you should note, that in the address column, for these first five records, that is for record number 1 to record number 5, you can see that address is not available. It is shown to you as null. And these five records, the first five records are the records from the first table, that is Student Details 1 table. And as I already told you in the beginning that this table is having only three columns. It is not having address column, while the second table was having address column. And these two records, that is ID number 9 and 12, are a part of Student Details 2 table. That's why when we appended these two tables, you can see that although fourth column, that is address column, is present in the appended query, but since the first five records were not having any value for address column, so here after appending, null is populated in the fourth column for the first five records. While since for the other two remaining records, that is ID number 9 and 12, since they belong to Student Details 2 table and Student Details 2 table was having address for ID number 9 and 12, so here you can see that in the appended query, in the combined query, we have address as well available. Address is also available. So that's how these queries get combined. I will write this example in PowerPoint just to give you a better view of that. So let's say we will take a new slide and let's say we have, I will write it here for you. Let's choose black color. let's say this was the table 1. Our table 1 was having columns ID, then we had names, we had ID, names, and phone number. And then for table 2, we had 4 columns, that is ID. Here we had ID, name, and phone number, while here we are having ID, name, your phone number, and address as well. All right. So when these two tables were appended, so we will discuss about the result now. So here, let's take an example first of all. So let's say we were having ID number 1, 2, 3, let's say, and let's say the names were A, B, and C. And let's say the phone numbers were X, Y, Z. And let's say here we were having 2 different IDs, and the names of those IDs are, let's say those 2 IDs were 9 and 12. Let's say the names were P and Q. Let's say the phone numbers were M, N, and let's say the address was PM1, maybe PM9. And let's say the address was QN12 for ID number 12. So when these 2 tables were appended, so this was the result. I'm writing the result here. In the combined table, since the second table is having 4 columns, so the combined table or the result will have 4 columns. That is ID, then we have name, then we have phone number, and then we have address. From the first table, we have 3 records. That is 1, it is having name A, phone number is X, and since address is not available, so here address will be populated as null. Same is the case for 2, ID number 2, B, Y, and again since address is not available, so it will be populated as null. Then for ID number 3, we had C, Z, again since address is not available, so null. But here in the table 2, since we have address for these 2 records, so here it will get populated like this, 9, and then we have name as P, we have phone number as M, and we have address as PM9. Similarly, I'm writing the last record on the second page, so it will be 12, then we have QN 12, QN, and the address was QN12. QN12. And the names of these columns were, this was the ID column, then we had name column, then we had phone numbers, and after the phone numbers we had address. All right. So I hope this example was helpful in explaining it to you that how different queries get appended when they have a different number of columns, and how the result looks like when we append 2 queries. So at times there will be situations where we'll be having multiple tables, and in all those cases, wherever it is required, we can append or combine the queries in this way. So I hope this video was helpful. We'll meet in the next session. We'll discuss about merging queries. So till then, thank you. Bye-bye.